Hey, how you doing? Today is Thursday, November 18th. And these are the books that I picked up yesterday at Torpedo Comics in Orange and Nuclear Comics in Laguna Hills. If you hear some chomping, that's I just gave Princess some treats and she's up here. You done or you going to pass by? All right, do what you got to do. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead. These are actually not only alphabetical by publisher, by alphabetical by title within the publisher, which is pretty good for me. And we're going to start with Batman Secret Files. This is Peacekeeper 01. This is all within the Fear State event or universe or whatever they're calling it. So I don't know how this kit stays into continuity, but I'm just curious what this incarnation of Peacekeeper is going to be like. You know, after the Suicide Squad film and the upcoming TV series. We got Nice House on the Lake, number 6. I like that cover. That's cool. Also from Fear State, we got Nightwing 86. 2 Batman-related titles. Wow. That's unusual. We're going to go with, also from DC, Rio Yos is doing Refrigerator Full of Heads, which is sort of a tie-in sequel to Basket Full of Heads, which was actually written by Joe Hill. In DC Horror, DC is, as usual, is confusing, because here they have DC Black Label. Joe Hill presents Hill House Comics, all of which are horror-related. And they have something separate called DC Horror. And this is Soul Plumber number 1, which I missed last month, but I heard good things about. And we have Soul Plumber number 2. This is all stuff that at one time would have been part of Valiant, but not Valiant. Vertigo. I'm losing it. Part of Vertigo. So I really don't know what it is. They are both listed as ages 17 plus. So I am curious about that. Also, finally from DC, we have Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, number 8. I was like, number 5 of 8. My bad. Love that. Cover of Supergirl not having a good day. Usagi Yojimbo, Stan Sakai. These are classic stories from earlier in the Usagi series, but recolored. We have Kang the Conqueror, number 4. And again, don't confuse that with the Kang character that we see, or that we saw in the Loki miniseries. The Doctor Who miniseries, Misty, is finished. So now we're starting with Doctor Who comic number 1, and this is Empire of the Wolf. And I think this is the 11th Doctor, at least on the cover. And if you open it up on the title page, we will see that it also includes the 8th Doctor. We've got Exo Man of War number 8. This is going to be what, volume 4 or 5 at least, right? What doesn't it say? No, here they don't list it. They just list it as number 8. But there have been so many all the Valiant titles have gone through so many incarnations or alliterations that it's that it probably is up there, and I'm just curious. Marvel and DC always will put in volume this, volume that, usually. I mean, it would be easy enough to find out, but I'm not going to Google it. That was from Valiant, if you didn't know. Finally, from Vault, we have Radio Apocalypse, number 1, which the cover struck me, and the art looks very familiar. I can't place it. I mean, it's written by Ram V or Ram 5. I'm never exactly sure how it's pronounced. I'm guessing Ram V, right? And the artist is Anand, Anandrk, Anandrk. Anisha is colorist, and B.D. Carr is the letterer. And describes on the back, long after the rock out of space struck the world and turned it all to dust, in Bakerstown stands the last radio station on the planet. Radio Apocalypse, broadcasting into the unknown, a beacon in the dark for those who wander the lost places. Now change is coming to Bakerstown, among the refugees flocking into an already precarious settlement. An orphan boy, Rion, caught in an indiscretion, will twine his fate with the radio station, and so doing begin this mixtape of love and heartbreak and interminable hope, the soundtrack to the end of the world. I'm a sucker for dystopian stuff, so we will see what goes on in that one. That is it for me. And I got picked up the latest issue of DC Connect and discover how the Dark Knight began. 10 issues from Chip Zdarsky. I mean, I've given up on DC continuity. Is this going to be another reboot? I mean, we saw Batman Year One. But I don't know. Batman title Cell. I mean, as I said, I picked up 2 myself, but that was more. It wasn't for Batman. Which reminds me, there are several Batman animated series that I want to check out. Nothing. I don't think anything is really going on that I can think about. I want to recommend, if I haven't mentioned before, Ghosts, which is a sitcom on CBS. It's adapted. This is in their first season, and it's an adaptation of a BBC program by the same title. It's about a couple who inherit an estate, want to turn it into a bed and breakfast. It's interesting how they've changed the characters. The premise is basically there, but it's interesting how they've changed some of the ghosts in the series. Making one, obviously aimed more at the culture of the time during different periods, but they've also they reused some of the plots, although they've made some changes, which I find interesting. And so I recommend that, and that is it. Right now, take care of yourself, be good, get vaccinated, get the booster, wear your mask. I've been saying that for, God, well over a year now, or close to it at this point. At least the mask part. And I will probably see you next week. Peace out.